Plaintiff Heather Jackson says when she started dating the defendant, he was charming and good with his words. But she soon discovered he was just manipulating her. Heather claims she paid for everything in their relationship, and she's suing him today for a bail bond. Defendant Shane Foucault says if he's such a bad guy, why was Heather texting him last night trying to hang out with him in Chicago? Shane insists he and Heather would still be together if it weren't for her parents, who are strict Mormons, and he claims he never asked Heather to bail him out.
Start with you.
Right. Well, when I first met Shane, he was dating someone else, and they broke up, and then we began dating. And he was really charming and good with his words. And in the same sense, he was a little controlling and manipulating in the fact that he knows how to get what he wants. He would ask me for money, and I ended up paying for everything for him.
How long after you began dating did he start asking for money?
Right away, and that's why it wasn't evident at first. It was, just little things. And
what do you mean it wasn't evident?
It wasn't evident
hearing
in the
impaired,
fact,
that's pretty clear.
Yes, in the fact that I didn't know he wasn't going to repay it. He would make promises, and
oh, okay. He asked to borrow money.
Yes. And
okay.
I ended
he was
up,
the borrowing pimp.
Yes.
Because you say he was trying to manipulate you out of your money.
Yes.
All right, and that's what the little short-time pimps do, but he was a borrowing one. Good enough. So how long after meeting him did he ask to borrow money?
Right away.
Yeah, like a week, 2 weeks?
A couple
Same
weeks.
day?
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
a couple weeks.
How much?
Well, it started off, I guess, with his dental bills. And he had a surgery that he needed, and he needed the money right away, and so
what?
I would pay.
And you actually loaned him money for a dental surgery?
Well, I felt bad for him.
Weeks after, no. How much?
A couple $100.
Okay, maybe that was his deductible or something.
Man, I got toothache too.
Right. Yeah, get you a couple hundred while you. Since you're the middleman for the dentist, tell me another instance when he asked for money.
It would be everything. It would be rent, his dogs, even our dates. We wouldn't
How much did you give him in rent?
Well, I think his rent's like $350. But
How many times did he ask you to pay his rent?
Just one or two.
Okay.
But he would always make promises to pay me back, and I'm a single mom. I don't have this kind of money. I've got 3 kids, and I struggle to even provide.
How long did you all date?
I don't know, probably 6 months.
6 months? Mm-hmm. Okay. You forgot you had kids those 6 months?
No. My kids
You forgot you were struggling?
No.
So I'm saying, if you knew you had kids and you knew you were struggling, why would you give a man your money?
Well, I trusted him. I trusted him that he would pay me back, and
did he pay you the first one? When did he say he would pay you the first one back?
He said it would be the next paycheck.
And he didn't, right?
And he didn't. And
how long after that did you loan him money for rent, to pay his rent?
A few months.
Okay.
It's just gradually over everything.
In the future, if a guy asks you 1 week after he meets you to borrow $200, then you loan it to him, and he says, I'll repay you, and he never pays you for months, then he comes back to you months later and says, now I need you to pay my rent for $350. Say to him,
no,
you didn't pay me the $200 you promised. I have children. I am struggling. Don't wait to tell the judge. You make me feel bad. Make him feel bad. you tell me. Make me feel bad. Sir, you give me some background on this. Well, I'm going to say you met her and took her money.
Honestly, if I'm such a bad guy, terrible guy, why is she texting me last night asking if we could hang out? Why is she, texting me 2 nights before we actually come to Chicago to meet up and let's have dinner?
Did you call her back?
For the dinner, yes.
Okay. Did she give you some money?
No.
This time you were a freebie. All right, so what are you trying to indicate? You all are still dating? She wants to date? What are you saying?
Well, that's the thing is, we talk. Like I said,
Does she want to date you? Is that what you're saying?
She said, I still love you. She asked me if I still loved her.
Okay.
Honestly, if it wasn't for, her parents being so strict, so, religious with the Mormon practice.
Your Honor, I don't feel.
What wouldn't have happened?
you know, we honestly wouldn't be dealing with, you know.
You wouldn't have broken up?
Exactly.
Okay, how did that break you up?
Her parents don't like me. You know, I'm 27. I live in Reno.
What makes you think it has something to do with the religion? You don't think it has more to do with taking her money?
Well,
you take my daughter's money, it ain't gonna be about religion.
Right. No, understood. But it didn't. But it didn't start. There wasn't any issues between, you know, her and, you know, and me and her parents with the money. You know, it was.
You said they didn't like it.
But it wasn't the money that was the issue.
So they told you why?
Yeah, because
they said we don't like you because of our religion.
Because of the fact that I drink, you know, I participate in, you know, clubs and
before you
life.
Took their daughter's money, they told you that.
You know, obviously they didn't come out directly and say that, but they had told Heather multiple times.
Ma'am, is that true? Before he borrowed money from you, your parents had already told you that they didn't like him because he drank and went to clubs?
No, my parents are really loving and really accepting, and as they saw the course of our relationship.
Now, he thinks you're still in love with him. He said you stated as much, and he says that you want him back. You know, you're suing him for $3,500. That's some love. What do you want to say to that?
I don't know. This whole coming to Chicago is a big deal, and that's basically my purpose of calling him. I mean, I still care about his well-being, so.
Okay, so your purpose of calling him was to check on his well-being?
Yes, and to see how he was doing, things like that.
Okay. Did he tell you?
Yeah, he said he was doing
All
good.
right. Did he tell you right before you came to Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked.
All right, so you thought things had changed within those 2 days?
No, I mean, we've remained on a friend's level. I'm disappointed in the way that, you know, he has.
Did you all get together?
Yeah, we hung out.
2 days before you came to Chicago to sue him?
Yes.
Did you tell him you were still in love with him?
No.
Okay. Good enough. She said she didn't tell you she was still in love with you. She said she was checking on you. She said she checked on you before coming to Chicago, and then perhaps she thought something had happened to you between those 2 days, so she checked on you again when you got here. When the next time you going to check on him?
I don't know.
Like I said, too.
I don't know.
Her parents, if it wasn't her parents being so strict and controlling her by puppet strings, we would probably still be together.
She's suing you today for $3,500, but she says from the first couple of weeks, you started asking her for money. You borrowed money for your teeth. You borrowed money for your rent. You borrowed money, borrowed money.
I never borrowed money for rent.
She never gave you any money for rent?
No.
Has she ever given you any money?
She's giving me money, yes.
How much approximately?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so much so you don't know. Do you work?
Yes.
Why do you have to get money from her? You pop all your money off?
No, I was going through a transition because I'm originally from Sacramento, so I didn't have any family.
Okay, you had moved.
Right.
Recently.
Yes.
When you met her.
Well, I had moved prior to meeting her.
How long had you been there?
I'd been there 6 months.
Okay, yeah, 6 months is relatively recent. And so that's why you needed her money. Did you tell her that?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, did he tell you that's why he was asking for money? Because you seem to think he was just using and manipulating you.
I do. I feel like he was
Did he tell you
he did not.
That was the reason?
No, he did not.
All right.
And I was going through a transition from where I was living with the ex-girlfriend that put me
that you broke up with.
Right.
All right.
So I was going through a transition, leaving that house.
Okay.
And I was
getting your own place.
Exactly.
All right. So now it makes a little better sense, but she says you didn't tell her those things. Either that or she's lying.
No, she's lying because I did, you know, from when I left that house, I moved in with her.
All right, let's get to the $3,500 in bail that you're suing him for.
Okay. One of the instances where he had asked me to help him out, he had left some of his belongings at his ex-girlfriend's house, and so he went to her house, and she wasn't very happy to have him there, and they got in a fight, and as he entered the property, the door had hit. Well, not a fight, not a physical fight.
Argument?
An argument.
Not even that.
And
okay.
As he went in, the door had hit her on the way in.
That's what he told you?
As it swung
That's
open.
what he told you?
That's what the police report has said, and that's what she had wrote as well.
They arrested the door.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So the door accidentally hit her.
Yes.
And he was arrested for that.
And he was arrested
for that accident.
Yes. Well, I believe it was an accident.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Sounds like he had you believe in a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And so,
good.
therefore, when he called me, I felt like he was wrongfully arrested. And so I had called my parents. I didn't have the money. And my dad, he's sitting here today, and he charged the bail money on his credit card. And
He believed the door hit her accidentally also.
Well, he was convinced. I had convinced
Right, that's
him.
what I'm saying. He was convinced that the door hit her accidentally during the course of an argument. And that's why the police arrested him, because of an accident. Good enough. All right. And he beat you out of how much, you and your daddy? He beat y'all out of what?
Right, yeah.
$3,500?
Right after, Shane was really grateful. He had come back to my parents' house, and we had him sign a promissory note. He said that he would pay $200 every month in order to pay me back.
When was that?
November 2012.
Okay.
And
You trusted that too?
I did.
How much has he paid you?
He hasn't paid me anything.
All right,
But it
good
didn't,
enough.
I didn't sign that paper
Okay.
until months later.
It was
All right.
actually November 2012.
Do you think you should pay?
Honestly, I first off, I didn't even know it was coming from her parents. Second off, I didn't even ask to get bailed out. You know, I would have. I didn't. I would have sat there and got OR'd.
Okay.
You know, so
When they came, you said what? Thank
said,
you?
Yeah, of course. You know, just being out of respect. You know, and
Did either of them ask for you to repay?
later on down the road, yes.
A week. I have.
Why'd you all wait a week to ask whether
Well,
he was going to repay?
He promised to pay the day that he was in jail.
That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Is that true?
No.
And the only reason why also that it was so important to get him out is he had just got a really good job, and he said he was going to lose his job if he didn't get out.
How long had he had that really good job?
He had just had it a couple weeks.
Okay.
And he
No,
had-
I've had it for about.
You still have it?
I'm still waiting to see. I got put on suspension
What were you suspended for?
for the incident, being for going in the door and having
For that
the door.
accident at the
Yeah,
door?
but
All right,
But-
good enough. They didn't believe it either. Neither did the police believe it. Only people that believed it were your girlfriend and her daddy. Good enough. The law is, sir, if you ever make an agreement to repay someone, you must pay it unless you have a reason to get out of the contract or a way to void the contract. And I haven't heard one. Your only defense is, well, I agree later on. Whenever you agree. If you agree, you agree. So I'll give you $3,500, ma'am, for your judgment. And just remember, she called, talking about she in love, still want to meet with you, still want to check on you. Tell her to check on you, you need a couple dollars, don't you? Tell her to check on you like that. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I'm disgusted with you. I think you should be a man, grow a set, and be a man. Stop mooching off women.
I don't do that. Honestly, I don't.
You don't, yeah. You just proved it.